Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Munson Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, January 19th, 2020. This is a special meeting. We only have 3 items on the agenda, and I'm going to keep the public comment to those items only and not open it for other things. We'll do that at our next meeting, our regularly scheduled meeting. Excuse me. So first item on the agenda is approve the minutes of January 12th, 2020, open session.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. Second item, town administrator search discussion. So I did speak to Bernie from Community Paradigm yesterday, and he gave me a follow-up email, which I forwarded to you guys. You guys all see that?
Yes.
I did not.
All right, so I emailed it to you yesterday, Mary, should have it, but he just lays out the timeline and things like that. I'll just go over it quickly here. So the first steps, he's going to be focused on understanding what the town wants to see in its next town administrator. So what we're looking for, whether we're continuing on the same path, whether we want to change paths, do something different, but just kind of get a feeling from us, and also interview department heads and things like that. Then with that position statement, he's looking to have it done by the first or second week of February. And then he'll receive resumes through early March, review candidates with a professional panel through mid-March, and have 3 finalists by the end of March for us to interview. And then we should be able to hire that person in early April and have them start in early May, depending on any contractual notices they have to give, like if they have to give a 30-day notice. And that's it. So that's where things are going. He wasn't able to make it tonight, but he will attend our next meeting. So anybody have questions on that or discussion on the process through them?
I do.
Uh-huh.
It's Mary.
Okay.
I would like to not use the company and pay the $12,000. I've talked to a lot of people in town, and we have a lot of people who are interested, who are very qualified. And is there any harm in opening it up to them? Give a week for people to get their resumes in. Let's look through them and see if we can do it on our own.
Okay, me personally, I think we need to go through it. That's what we did last time. That's what most towns do. They're doing a lot more behind the scenes just than interviewing. And I'd rather, continue to use them. That's my personal opinion.
I quite agree. I think that there's a lot of work that has to be done. I have to go through vetting all of the 30 or 40 people who are going to apply for the job. And that's going to be well worthwhile, the fee that we're going to have to pay the outfit.
So Mary, anybody from town can apply and go through that whole process right with the Community Paradigm.
Correct.
It just seems like something we could do ourselves.
Yeah, to my knowledge, it's not traditionally done, in-house. Most, towns, cities will use an outside company like this. I know it sounds like
I understand that, but
yeah, like I said, I think it sounds like a lot of money, but it's one of the most important positions in town. I think we need to get it right.
I think we could.
Okay. So we are, last meeting, we voted to start the process. We already have. I may be a little bit late to, change directions on that at this point.
Well, do we have a motion to go with?
You already,
Yep, we did that last meeting, Ed.
Yeah.
So we already emailed them the letter, of engagement. So the process has already started.
So we're not going to change it, are we? We don't have a motion to change.
No, I'm not in favor of it.
Nor am I.
Okay. So we do need to discuss the interim position. Bernie from Community Paradigm has a couple people who he says he could recommend, people who are retired town administrators who may want to fill in. Evan had been in contact with somebody who may, and then we had, to my knowledge, one internal candidate, Audra, who I see is on the Zoom meeting, who's also expressed some interest in that interim position. So we just need to discuss what way we're going to go forward with that. Any thoughts, discussion?
I have no objections to opening it up for a week. Maybe let some of those people in town throw their resumes in and choose someone next week. Or see if there is anyone to choose from next week.
Yep. So I think it might be helpful to decide whether or not we want to go somebody internal or somebody who's, from the outside who's has past experience with this. I think to me, that's the two choices we have to make.
I'd leave it open to anyone who has past experience with this.
Okay.
Well, I'm game to get somebody from the outside.
Well, while we're discussing this, Audra's on the meeting. I don't know if you want to
Do you, can I, sorry,
give
can I
your
inter-
thoughts on it, Audra, your
can,
pitch for it?
do you, okay. Sorry, I have to click unmute, I think. There you go.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, there you go. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. New to Zoom, right? Thank you for giving me the time to speak. I just wanted to say that this position is a position that I've been working towards for the past couple of years. This is my career path. I think that for me personally, we've had a lot of changes in town, a lot of personnel changes, a lot of turnover. And I think that bringing somebody in for an interim from the outside and then potentially bringing in another might just be more kind of jumbling around. And I'm aware of the duties, and I feel like it's really you need somebody to steer the ship that knows all the people on the ship and knows where the ship is supposed to be going. And I think that I would do a good job at that. And I'm passionate about the town. I have really good working relationships with the people that I work with. And, I think that there are definite benefits to going with somebody who is already established in those relationships. I watched the meeting last week, and I know that you guys had spoken to Dan, and Dan has done this in the past. I spoke to Dan today, and he did offer me, his guidance on anything if I was to be in that role, that he would certainly, assist in anything that he could. So, I do have that support as well. But yeah, I wanted to, put it in there that and just let the board know that I am interested, and if that's the way that you so choose to go.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have?
So for an interim, and certainly you would be applying for the full-time job, right?
Sorry, Evan's playing with my unmute mute. I do intend to apply for the full-time job, yes, but I also am in full support of, using an outside company and going through that. But I see them as two different opportunities at the moment. I see this as one opportunity, and then applying for the permanent position as a different opportunity.
Ed, anything else, or Mary?
I would encourage her to also throw her name in the hat, but I still would like to see it open to outside people.
Okay.
So
So,
perhaps,
Mary, you proposing just accepting resumes?
And yeah, and by next week, we'll look at them as they come in. If everybody can get them in as quick as they can, so we can go over them. I don't know if on our own we can call them and have conversations with them, or maybe we can set up something in the evenings where we can have little Zoom chats with them. And then by next week, make a decision.
do you have any criteria to evaluate candidates?
Well, yeah. I mean, we know what the resume entails, the same questions we would ask anybody that was coming to the position.
I meant, do you have like minimum qualifications that you want people to have to submit, or are you just saying anyone from town submit
I
your
would say
resume?
that somebody is capable of, submitting a resume who has, as we said, experience doing something similar to this. And I know several of the people that I've spoke with definitely have the experience. So if I've only spoke to a handful of people, we have a lot more potential out in our town than we're aware of. Let them apply. We'll look at it. If we don't think it's something that will fit, then we just say, this isn't going to work for this, and we just narrow the pile down.
So for me, I think it comes down to three things, education, town administrator experience, or some other personal management experience, and then an appropriate personality for the position.
Yeah, I mean, the regular requirements for town administrator.
Ed, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you're right. I like to have somebody have some contact with the state, the state departments where we need help from Massachusetts. Clearly, most of the town administrators that I've been had experience with, they're very, very knowledgeable with our local and state government, and we need that, I think, in this case. It wouldn't bother me to have Audra as an interim, but I would still like the idea of using the $12,000 Paradigm
Mm-hmm.
outfit to pull all of things together and do all of the investigation and vetting that would be a big problem for us, I think.
Okay.
Just the three of us.
So Ed, are you good with accepting applications over the next week for people interested in the interim position?
Well, I was going to give it to Audra, but if you think we ought to get,
No, that's Mary's suggestion is we, take, resumes from people in the community or wherever, previous town administrators, whoever, for the role of interim.
well, that's going to be a bundle. I've had to go through lots of scholastic applications for scholarships, and it's a really tough job going through
Well,
all
good
those
job.
applications. It's not a lot of fun.
I hear you.
So,
I don't mind doing it.
Well, we can set up a small committee to go over those, so it's not one person, responsible for all that work. A lot of people will use, or a lot of towns, from what I understand, will use committees, search committees, whatever, for this type of thing.
Sure, there's probably some people who work right in the building who wouldn't mind being involved.
Yep. No, that's what I would recommend. Any
I'll
thoughts on
second
that?
that.
well, if you want to do that, that's fine by me.
So are we good with that?
I am.
Okay.
So what is the process, I guess is the question. So you're going to go and ask people to apply for the interim position. How are you advertising that, and how are you proposing to ask for qualifications? What are the minimum qualifications that you would ask for?
It would be the same things that are as if they were applying for the administration position. Same qualifications. Many people already know about it and they're paying attention to find out what's going to happen. I think people were expecting to see something posted or something and didn't, so they've been holding back. Put it on our town page. I don't know what the legalities of where it has to be posted, but it's move quick, have it in, as they come in, we can try and process them.
So the education, training, and experience for my position, as dictated by the job description, is bachelor's degree required, master's degree desired in public administration, business management, or closely related field, 5 to 10 years of experience as a municipal administrator or a related field, municipal management strongly preferred, experience with town meeting process, or any equivalent combination of education, training, and experience.
Perfect.
So is that what we want to go with, that criteria?
I agree with that.
And so it's just for an interim, is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
And we're the only ones that are going to do the evaluation. Is that correct?
No, we need to form some committee, to do it. We can't do it unless we have more, meetings, posted meetings. And depending on how many people, I don't think that's, realistic.
I like the idea of asking the people that work in that building to be a part of it. I think that would be a great idea, and I bet you we could get a few people to volunteer.
No, I'm fine with that idea. I think it's a good idea.
So can I
Okay.
make a motion that we open it with the, I don't know how to phrase it, with posting the qualifications for the position, allowing up until, I don't know, 5 days for people to submit. We have to get the group together first?
Well, we can do that
We would-
while,
saying.
the people are submitting their applications or resumes.
All right, so I propose I don't know, go ahead and do it, Doc. I'm not sure how to say it.
So we
I propose that we put together a posting with the qualifications for the interim position, open it up for 5 days. How's that?
May I suggest 7 days?
Surely.
Okay, give everybody a full week. And we're going to base it off of the job description Evan read.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion to that effect, Ed.
So moved.
Or seconding? Was that second?
Second?
Yeah. So Mary made the motion. Ed, you seconding?
Yes.
Okay. All right, any further discussion on this?
So this is going to be only for
The
the
interim?
interim, correct?
Yes,
So we're still going to go with the
paradigm for the position.
paradigm for the final.
Yes.
Okay. I can go with that.
Any further discussion on this? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye. All right, so I think that leads us next to who's going to be on this, committee that's going to review the applications.
Can we ask them, tomorrow, put something out and ask if anybody's interested?
Or do we want to, pick people and ask them if they're interested, like key people, different department heads, people that typically work with the town administrator?
Yeah, I'd leave it to anybody in the building, I'd say. Anybody that's going to be working with them, I would leave it, see
Okay.
who would like to participate.
All right, and how many people?
Let's see how many are interested. It would be cool if it was a lot.
Yeah, but it becomes, I think it's more difficult to start scheduling, interviews and everything if you got to get 7 people all on the same schedule. Maybe keep it to
Well,
5.
well, maybe we can see who's interested and take it from there.
Personally, I would prefer, picking a number like 5 and opening it up, and the first 5 that are interested, go from there, as opposed to getting, 10 people and then trying to cut it down.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That'll work. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to open it to 5 people, within the town, government, and then you would be one of those, Mary, I trust.
Yes.
Okay, so 4 other people, and then we'll see what kind of interest we have.
So we
I like-
won't know for a week who those 5 people are going to be, or who.
Discuss it at the next meeting, and then at which point we should have all the applications, and then we can start, the process of going through the applications for the interim and, discussing it at the following meeting, maybe. Sound like a
I
realistic
agree.
timeline?
Yeah. Sorry, you guys keep chopping out on me.
I'm sorry. Ed, you all right with that?
I guess that's what we're all right with.
Okay. All right, so do I have a motion to form a committee of 5 people total to be on the interview committee for the interim town administrator position?
So moved.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye. All right, so now, Evan, I think we need just to figure out how we're going to advertise this. Any suggestions?
So you could do the town website and you could do the town Facebook page. Or are you talking about the internal piece? Because you didn't talk about advertising the external yet.
Well, actually, that's what I meant as far
Okay.
as the external.
Okay.
Yeah, the internal, I think
External-
if,
With only 5 days, I think those are your 2 options because it won't reach anybody, if we do any other kind of media.
yes, we're going to do 7 days.
So I'm sorry, 7 days. But
Okay.
either way, you're not gonna. I don't know that you're gonna want to put that in a newspaper.
No, I mean, I could reach out to Bernie, he had people that might be interested, and like I said, you had somebody who might be interested, so they could also throw their hat in the ring if they're interested.
Yeah.
I think anyone who's interested has already heard about it and they're listening. You know what I mean?
Well, that's anybody local.
Well, word about towns having a position like that spreads pretty quick. People are listening from outside too.
Okay,
Yeah, I've gotten calls from retired town administrators from elsewhere in the state that would come in
all right.
and keep things afloat if that was the direction the board chose to go.
Yeah, if you can reach out to them and ask them to please send a resume, it'll be considered along with everybody else.
Okay.
Okay?
So we have the document then that we need to post.
I'll have to write an advertisement for the position.
Okay. And then,
Did you guys want to post salary in there, or did you want to just ask for resumes? What's the?
I
What
would
are we-
just ask for resumes.
I'm good with just asking for resumes and then, salary to be discussed.
Okay.
And then for the committee that's reviewing it, if you could just please maybe send out an email to all the, everybody in the town offices, or anybody, town employees there, basically. Cheryl Clark included. People that typically work, with that position.
Yep. I'll just do it to all department heads, and
Yeah, that'd be great.
then we can go from there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Anybody else have anything with this town administrator search?
I'm all set.
Ed, you good?
Okay.
All right. All right, then we can move on to the last item on our agenda, which is repair of Dave Grief Park clock. So Evan, you were gonna, look into a cost to replace.
Yeah, so it's more complicated because there's a lot of different clocks. But I was able to speak with someone that was involved with the purchase of the clock originally, and it was originally purchased by the tourism committee, who had done a fundraiser to purchase the clock that's there now. And Galen can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the number that they gave us was $20,000 for a new clock in 2013.
Okay.
I looked into it. It is not, yeah, it's crazy expensive, but I'm glad I looked into it.
Yeah.
And given that it's something that was, put there by the tourism committee, I'm not really eager to go replace it.
Yeah, the money is crazy if we were to do that. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to check. I needed to know,
No, that's good. So do we have a motion to spend, what was it, $5,000, Evan?
$5,290.
From gifts to the town to repair the clock at Dave Grieve Park.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on it? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye. All right, so we don't have any correspondence this evening, and as I mentioned, we're not bringing any or hearing any comment from the public for other things. And we don't have executive session this evening, so I think that is it, unless anybody has anything that can't wait till next week.
I'm set.
All right.
Do we have anything else to be signed? The warrants or anything?
Hold on, let me unmute Galen.
We will have tomorrow. I'm just waiting for Jamie to bring them in.
Okay,
I can send you an email.
Okay.
thanks.
Thanks, Galen.
You're welcome.
Evan, you don't have anything else?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye. So good night, everyone. We will see you next week, the 26th at 7 p.m. Thanks.
Night.
Good
Okay.
night.
Good night.